Let me demonstrate how STFE works. Let me log into STFE system with the URL health.stfe.io. It opens the login page. So the facility users have to provide their corporate email and the password. I'm using with the exec down credentials. So it establishes a secure connection using OAuth. So it opens the portfolio hub, so where they have listed all their facilities, individual facilities, and the down or portfolio executive could go to the respective facility using the delegate access. Let me use the rural care CH. So it opens the rural care CH intake window. We have different intake forms like orthopedic, pulmonary, cardiology, and nephrology. And it also has the bulk shadow audit where they can use the historical data validation using their previous data. And it also has the audit ledger for every intake they have taken. And this is the main window where facilities could configure their facility configuration, like the thresholds, what are the constraints they have. So they could feed the data from here. This is the clinical guardrail, and this is the financial default they can put based on these values. The ROI would calculate, and some of the admission decisions would be made upon these details. And this is a payer contact list. They can add what are the payers that they could work with, and this is the EHR integration where they could see the internal systems they can integrate with. And this is the API integration for life sciences or any pharmacy related tools that they have. They could do it here. And this is the staff management that Dawn can facilitate the users from here. And this is the clinical rule governance where they could add their thresholds in the checklist or go sheet. So and they do the whenever they add a new rule, they could do the sign off for each row. So they would trigger based on the details what they have provided. So these are the transaction catalog based on so the constraint fails. So what would be the next option or the suggestions would they decide whether they, for example, here in pulmonology, the O2 levels are less than, this is the what you call the transaction mode. So it says stability, saturation confirm stability 4 hours before the transport. So that by the time maybe the O2 saturation would enhance or would be saturated. And this is the field where they can create a new transformation nodes. And this is the formulary where they have all the pharmacy information, what they have currently in their live prices. These are the recorded prices, but they can do a bulk import if they don't have a direct pharmacy integration. If they have a direct pharmacy integration, they can integrate using our integration page. This could be an external verification page where providers like hospitals or payers could directly check the patient status using the POS hash or case number, so that they'll be knowing the exact status of the patient. So let me go to the intake see how the we have a PDF parser extraction where the users could take a PDF file and extract information from there if they don't have a live integration. So let me take the PDF parser for a CH patient. So it extract the information whatever it has in the PDF and it passes to the UI fields. So it total it took 38 fields from the PDF extraction, and it categorized from the map are used by what are the fields that are used by engine and few fields that needs to be reviewed. So it filled the details based on the PDF extraction. So it also highlights some of the inconsistencies. Maybe some of the values are based on the drop down list. So this is the actual it has received the actual value it has received from the EHR or the PDF. And the weight bearing, you see the value is different. Here it shows FWB, but that is not available in the drop down list. That's why it is showing. So the user could say it's full weight bearing, and it also failed the hours since admission and number of anticipated LOS and number of days for the length of stay, etc. So if this information is incorrect, the user intake admin can update this information before executing it. So this is pre-assessment human intent, like so not based on our engine. Maybe the user also have intention whether they can take the patient or restrict the patient, or if they don't have clarity based on the clinical information that has been extracted, so they can put undecided. This will be helpful in using the ROI calculation. So the system would not falsely claim that is providing the ROI, but it's also based on the user human intent. Whether if say for example the decision is hold and the user also decide to hold this patient, so it will not calculate an ROI. So this is how it works. Then let me execute the deterministic execution. So it was throwing error saying because CMS team waiver is enabled but not procedure is not selected. Let me select the appropriate procedure, like it's a CABG. Okay, let me like this. So if I execute the deterministic matrix based on the facility configuration and the clinical details which has been received, it's showing administrative hold with the 5 different conditions is not satisfied. If you see The first, the patient has a COPD diagnosis, but the FHRI bundle did not include FEV1%. Without that number, the engine cannot evaluate a severe COPD safety criteria. It refused to guess. And the second thing, if you see, the patient has heart failure listed, but the bundle does not include ejection fraction. So a reduced EF safety threshold cannot be evaluated without it. So if you see the third one, NOHA class 4 patient cannot be safely managed in a skilled nursing facility, and the engine cannot rule that out without the data. Fourth one, the CMS 96-hour acute stay rule has been breached at the sending hospital with 2304 hours of acute duration exceeding the critical access hospital criteria. And the fifth one, the cumulative burden calculation, the engine computed a clinical burden factor 108 against a facility threshold of 10. Burden days equals 0.80 ch swing bed weight, normal shift staffing. The math is not the verdict. The engine is telling the discharging hospital the referral packet is incomplete for the patient with the acuity, and the receiving facility cannot depend this admission to CMS without the missing data. The night shift nurse in a rural Monata who cannot call her director of nursing at 11 p.m. has her defensible answer. Not we can't take this patient, but we need these specific numbers before we can responsibly accept this transfer. That's a defensible referral conversation. That's what this EH could not have today without STFE. So that's what why we are projecting, why we are suggesting STFE. And the same thing would be registered in audit ledger. If you could see audit ledger, so if I see this particular thing, it has entire data with the immutable PY hash. So it will say administrative hold with the details of constraints violated, and it has also has the clinical parameter at the time of evaluation and the facility profile at an execution. So and the intake nurse have the case comments so that it will be in the record. So this is how a PDF extraction would work with intake. And if there is no PDF part, the intake nurse would also can manually update the information. If they receive the data from a phone call, they can update this information in the UI fields and they can take a execution. And next thing, it also works with the smart